Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Firstly, I may introduce myself. I am Khurshid from 10th class and a student of J. Sahara Public High School.
And I am Mehvish Ara from class 10th.
And I am Zainab Altaf from class 10th.
And I am Sindarshah from class 10th.
Today we are here to demonstrate a reaction regarding single displacement reaction. So firstly, we should know what single displacement reaction means. Single displacement reaction simply means when a radical or atom of a compound displaces the other radical or atom. Or in other words, we can say when a less reactive compound gets displaced by a highly reactive metal. So today our reaction is copper sulfate solution plus iron. For that we should move on the board. So here it's copper sulfate solution plus iron, which gives us iron sulfate plus copper. So the question is how copper gets displaced by iron. So for this we should go to the reactivity series. As you can see here, we should use a pointer here to get it focused. As we can see here, it's potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium. It comes in the highly reactive metals. After that it comes moderate reactive metals. As you can see here, iron and copper is also present in here. Iron is above the copper, that means it is highly reactive. That means it is highly reactive than copper. That's why it has displaced the copper from copper sulfate solution and form iron sulfate solution. Let's do it practically now. Firstly, we should take a beaker here in which we have to take 100 or 150 ml of water. As you can see, we have take 150 ml of water. After that, we have to add some copper sulfate solution. As you can see, this is the copper sulfate solution. But we have already take it out in a plate. We can add 1 or 2 spoons of copper sulfate. We should use the stirring rod to stir it. We should stir it until it dissolves totally in it and the color turns into blue. I am still dissolving it. As you can see, it's not dissolving totally. We should put this stirring rod aside as we have already used it. As you can see guys, the color of the solution is already changed into blue. After that, we have to take 1 or 2 or we can also take 3 iron nails. It does not matter if it's clean or if it's rusted. If it's rusted, we can clean it with a sandpaper. But for now, I am taking 3 iron nails which is clean. So let's put it here. Now we should wait for 2 to 3 hours to see what will happen. So let's put it aside for 2 to 3 hours.
Waiting 1.5 hours, what kind of observations we see? Initially, the color of the copper sulfate solution was blue, but now it is pale green in color, and the copper is displaced by the iron, which is settled at the bottom of the beaker. You can see the copper is displaced by the iron because it is less reactive than it, and then the nails we have put it in it. Firstly, when we put it in it, it is silver in color and now it is reddish brown in color. You can see.
By doing this experiment, we have concluded that iron is more reactive than copper as we have already seen in the reactivity series. Iron has displaced copper from copper sulfate solution and formed iron sulfate solution.
So guys, let me tell you the reaction which we have done practically. Let us demonstrate the reaction on board. Copper sulfate plus iron gives iron sulfate plus copper. As we know, iron is more reactive than copper. So iron displaces copper from copper sulfate solution.